Hey folks, it's Eric from Supportive Venture, and basically, I'm going to talk about one of the MSP worst practices that afflicts a lot of smaller companies, and that is winging it during training and onboarding a new staff member. So this might be okay, in the first few hires that you make to, get a help desk, get the second person, third person, fourth person, fifth person onto your help desk. But after about 5 to 10 technicians, I would urge you to actually have a plan when bringing on a new staff member. And a lot of companies don't. So a lot of the time, we at Supportive Venture, and what we do is we provide staff members for MSPs working remotely in international deals where we find the best MSPs we can, and we find the best people we can around the world. And yeah, we make it work. So making it work assesses the skills of the people we're onboarding, and it assesses the structure of the MSPs that we're taking the help desk work from. So a lot of the time with the smaller MSPs, what will be is a situation will be that the first day we'll just get like a call, and basically the credentials will not be made. They won't really have any training materials. They'll just be put on a call with someone who's working at the job. And then all of a sudden, maybe some emergency will happen on the MSP and they'll just be like, oh, sorry, I got to go. Bye. And this sort of like throw you in the water and make you swim sort of mentality with little to hang on to might not be the best way if you want to build an MSP that scales. It might not be the best way if you want to have an organization that has consistent results in bringing people on board. Now, I know a lot of you people have paid a lot of money for systems like Connecwise, Autotask, Continuum, and all these different stuff. And Connectwise, for example, and Continuum will come and they'll have like Connectwise University, and Continuum basically has a university too, and you can just put them on that and watch the videos. Well, for a lot of the really talented technicians, they will watch those videos and they'll go, what the hell am I watching this for? This stuff is so rudimentary, and it's always this sort of like really overtly American way of just like, and now you're gonna click on this to open a time entry on the ticket, and now this is how you write an internal ticket notice. Like, well, it's really obvious. I mean, and very rarely did I actually, I ask if someone mentions Connectwise University, I ask like, so you trained on that. How many of those videos did you watch? Did you watch all of them? Were they valuable for you, to the owner, the MSP, or the help desk manager? And usually they'll be like, no, good point. So for stuff like that, the tools, you need to actually make a sort of step by step on how you are using the tools. Now, I'm not saying there's not great stuff in Connectwise University, and great stuff that a lot of MSPs, by the way, are not using, like the scheduling feature, and what a lot of people pay all this money for Connectwise, but they don't actually know what a red arrow means, and they could find that out from Connectwise University. A red arrow means that there's a ticket and there's only past events scheduled on it. So that means likely a ball has been dropped. So, but having a nice curated way of how you and your business uses Connectwise, and step by step on what a technician in their first days before they can get some action, what they need to know about this ticketing system, how to write the notes, what statuses have you loaded in there, the categories and subcategories, when to use them, how to schedule yourself, how to escalate a ticket, how to reassign, and all that stuff that you use the ticketing system for, who to email, where to write the internal notes, when to write internal notes versus client-facing notes, and all that jazz. How to keep a timesheet, how to check your timesheet at the end of the day, how to submit it at the end of the week. To make a guide, maybe on video, because I'm very big on video. As you can see, you're watching me right now on video, and it's the best way to explain more complex and nuanced ideas. Have a walkthrough of how your company uses Connectwise. And then guess what? Once you have that video, walked it through once, you can use that video again to train subsequent staff members, and you won't have to have a person do it every time. So rather than winging it, make sure that when someone comes on board, day one, their credentials are set up, and the most they'll have to do is probably like set up the MFAs, or something like that. Make sure that if there's by default a gazillion emails a day going in their inbox, that you've set up the forwarding rules for them so that they get sorted, so that they only see what's relevant. Make sure they know what the responsibilities are, like what their job is going to be judged by, what to do when they start in the morning, what to check, where to check, what to check at the end of the day, what to do, what boxes you need to tick off, and throughout the day, like how often are you supposed to be checking your email? How often are you supposed to be checking the service desk? How often are you supposed to be checking your timesheet? All that stuff. Make a guide on what the day-to-day expectations are. Put it in writing rather than just winging it. Because if you wing it, and you have somebody who's already on the help desk and they go through all this stuff, and they're sort of like, okay, this and okay, that, within about 2 hours the person's head will be full on the first day. If you haven't recorded the call, they're not going to be able to review it. But if the whole first day onboarding is either videos that they can watch and then make a list of questions for you that came up when they were watching the videos, and B, written down in a nice, neat training plan with a nice, neat list of expectations on what they're supposed to do and what their job looks like based on output of ticket notes and time logged and tickets closed and all that stuff. When they're doing their job correctly, they're going to be like, wow, this company's so well organized. Otherwise, you can have someone sit and you can have someone casually explain what they do every day in like a torturous 3 days of shadowing before they get to do like their first ticket. But they're probably going to forget all that information, and you'll have to nag them for it, like a mother nagging their children to brush their teeth. Do you really want that to be the dynamic in your MSP? Do you really want to have to wing it during training? Do you really want to start someone even though their credentials aren't even ready, so that they have to sit there and shadow someone and get random pieces of information as random things come up through the randomly long block of training time that they've had to, and unstructured sort of training time that they've had to endure for the first few days? And yeah, people's heads can explode with too much info if it's not organized correctly and if it's not able to be referenced later. So if you want to grow an MSP, let's say beyond 5 technicians, say when you're onboarding your next technician, I want you to make a training plan before what is going to be gone over. And I want you to make the credentials, a list of all the credentials that need to be created before the person starts. I want you to make a checklist of what the job looks like when the job is done correctly. And I want you to record the whole process, step by step, of explaining that stuff to that person. And then when you hire the next person after that, you'll be so happy. You know why? You're just going to hand them that training plan. You're going to hand them the associated videos and tell them to watch all of that and get back to you with a list of questions. All right, so this is the MSP worst practice. I'm going to make another video about best practice and a training plan and the whole onboarding of staff members and what should be on there, what I think are useful things to explain to people when they're joining your company and are going to be representing you in front of the clients. So the link to that should be in the description, and click it and you can find out the best practice of onboarding staff members and stuff that you should cover. So thanks a lot. My name is Eric from Supportive Venture, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.